Hello, my name is Will. I run the Male Childcarer blog on Blogger, as you all know. And today I'm here with Josh, who who was the video up in the blog up above somewhere up there. I danced through my mind, and today I'm going to ask him about the his remarkable video which I saw not long ago, and I thought I'd interview him about this. So let's make a start, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Josh, for all those watching or listening or whatever you're doing, the video Dance from My Mind is on your YouTube channel, isn't it, Josh?
Yes, it is. Probably a link.
Yeah, there's going to be a link somewhere.
Dotted around the screen.
I might put one down here or up there, or I don't know.
Do it diagonally.
Do it diagonally. But we're gonna have a link to the video so you can watch it. It's also going to be embedded into this blog post, and it's really relevant to all those out there who may be suffering from a cause which is called ADHD, which is
Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder.
Thank you. I can't say that. So anyway, so you suffer from ADHD, and the video has got your feelings out to the public, which is remarkable. When I watched it, I was really moved. It was a fascinating piece to watch. If you could offer anyone advice with ADHD, what advice would you give them about how to cope with that?
See, just sort of get a routine going. Like that sort of helps me. Like if I'm constantly busy, I find it doesn't play up as much. Mm-hmm. When I'm dancing and things like that, because my mind's focused on something, it's not too bad. Or if I'm at work, and I kind of have to be professional at work, but to an extent, once you get a routine going, that sort of helps. It does help.
That the routine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. Did like a routine. Well, we'll move on to question 2.
Okay.
Having ADHD, you said that when you were in education, such as school as university, it was very hard to focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must say you've come so far. I mean, you've gone through primary, secondary, college, I do believe,
yeah.
and now you've just finished your uni degree, haven't you? If you graduate and actually this July, like in the next month.
It took me an extra year because I had to redo a year. But yeah.
Well, you still graduate, and it's a big accomplishment for someone with this ADHD. Yeah. But if there's anything you could say to your teachers back who didn't really understand you, what would you say to them?
Can't really say those things on camera. But it's like some of the ones, quite a few of my teachers did sort of get me and helped me out, but quite a lot of the ones who didn't think I could do it, or some of you always get those sort of negative teachers like, you will never be able to amount to anything.
Oh, yes, tell me about it. I've had plenty of them in my times in practice.
Well, I think obviously now all I want to do is just get my degree and go in the face, But honestly, I kind of use the ones who gave me hell in school as sort of motivation to be like, right, I'm here to prove this, that I can do it to myself and prove it to everyone else that I can do it. So I use the sort of negativity as well as motivation to keep going.
That's really fascinating. I mean, I know there's some teachers out there that they don't recognise children with ADHD or any type of learning disability, or SEN as we call it now, special education needs, until beyond beyond high school and that. I mean, I know a friend of mine didn't get recognised with autism until he's just done out, and he's done college and he's done uni and all that lot.
Most of the education system knew about it, they just didn't really know how to help it. But in fact, quite a few people I know who've known me for years didn't really know. They just thought, he was just a hyperactive guy, which in a way is kind of how people look at it. They just think, it's just some hyper guy, when they don't really realise the true understanding of it.
Mm-hmm.
But now, quite a lot of people after watching the movie are like, oh wow, I didn't realise that.
I must admit, I've known you, a year and a bit now, and nearly 2 years, and I didn't know until I watched that movie, and I would never have known if you hadn't shown that. That's really fascinating.
What it sort of was.
Oh yeah, Josh, your dance helps you with your ADHD, and after seeing your work and the effort that you put in, could you summarise, from the entire video, obviously it's 15 minutes long, could you summarise how your dance just helps you with your ADHD? Because it's something you feel really strong about, isn't it?
Yeah, I started dance. Well, my mum and dad actually put me in dance because obviously with my ADHD back then, I was quite out of control. Like I wouldn't stop moving.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was constantly tapping my feet and things like that. So they put me in dance class to see how it'd go, and took off from there. And I think that was in like, I don't know, year 2 of primary school or something like that. And I've been doing it ever since. You know, I think I've been doing it like a good 15 plus years.
Long time.
Dancing, you know. So it really does help, you know, me dancing, because I think, like I said earlier, you know, a routine or something that you enjoy, you know, with the dance. And obviously there's sorts of therapy, like through dance and movement therapy.
Mm-hmm.
It's
There's a fly.
there's a fly. Sorry, that's the ADHD going in there. Oh, shiny!
No, there was a fly, don't worry about it, it's buzzed off now.
Oh. Yeah, no, with my dancing, I feel that once I get dancing, pretty much, you know, you can dance all your troubles away, really, which does sound very cheesy, I know. But
Sounds very Disney-like, doesn't it?
it does sound very Disney-like, everything's great, everything's perfect. But, you know, like, it does help, sort of, you know, if you're getting a bit, yeah, I do sort of, I do find that when I get dancing, that I seem to sort of mellow down quite a bit.
Just like.
Yeah, it sort of it sort of brings me down, you know, to a sort of normal air level.
It's like cool. I mean that's. Obviously I've worked with ADHD children in the past, and there's certain things that work for some children, and obviously this works for you, and it's
Yeah.
really cool that you discovered that, because I know that a lot of people, even in like older than us and younger than us, still suffer with it incredibly.
Oh yeah.
And with bouncing off the walls, if you say, you know, I don't know, if a squirrel runs past on a tree, you're like, squirrel, that's it, gone.
Well, I do say that in the movie, like how my focus just goes, which is why I used to have my phone on voice recording, because I knew full well about 10 minutes into lecture I'm going to go, you know, and just zone out.
We're going to Raven Polar Bears.
Yes. That's perfectly demonstrated in the movie. But actually, I kind of spend most of the time in one of my lectures just playing Final Fantasy VII in the back of the lecture. I don't recommend.
I must admit, we've all had those moments where we've just gone, oh, I can't watch this.
Yeah, we start gaming in the back. I don't recommend doing it, so try and focus. You know, really try and. I mean, there's times where I kick myself into gear. I'm like, no, come on. And then 5 minutes later, I'd be back to normal. But,
We had a whole
5 minutes
semester of that in one of our lectures. It was that boring, we all fell asleep.
Oh, those mind numbing. Like, what I don't like is the ones who are where they take a simple phrase and they make it go blah 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 blah. They
So
make
it's like
it extreme. They make
huge
it
words.
Yeah, they make it more complex than it actually needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Which, for the person like myself, it really doesn't help whatsoever.
I can imagine. I mean, when they use humongous words in lectures, I mean, you just go, what the hell?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just like, in English, please.
Awesome.
Yeah, no.
I'm really glad that you found a way to help control
Yeah.
it. I mean,
You know,
like I said earlier, it's a very hard thing to.
get
I know that a lot of my readers / watchers, whatever you want to call them, don't actually know what it's like to have ADHD, which is why I'm interviewing you, which is why I went to see the movie, and which is why I want to do this special post on it. And I mean,
well, there's probably people in your audience who do probably have it as well.
yeah, like I've said, but people do have it, and I like to say, because I'm going into a field of childcare, I'm teaching. I want to make sure that I can accommodate for everyone, like inclusion.
Yeah. That's quite cool. You know, I do like that sort of stuff.
Well,
what's next?
We've rammed on a bit, haven't we? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what influenced you to do your final project at university on your ADHD, and what influenced you to show your dance, to keep it under control? Like, what made you suddenly think, I'm going to do this on this, and I'm going to expose this to the world, I'm going to let everyone know?
Well, that wasn't my first idea. Like, originally, I was doing it about dance and mental health awareness, but originally I was going to be portraying a character who has mental health issues, and there was going to be all sorts of cool stuff. But then it got to the point that it's like, A, I can't be bothered to do that, and B, it's very complex. And then in the end I was like, well, why do it as a character with mental health problems when I have them? So I'll do it as myself to show what it's like for me with mental, with things like that. So I did it like that. You know, I did it as myself, sort of for myself as well, because like throughout the whole process, it was quite hard. You know, it took a while to do.
I mean, I saw the reaction when I went to see this. It was in like a movie theatre, and I mean, I've never seen that movie theatre so full, and everybody was very impressed. I mean, your parents were there. I mean, your mum was in tears.
Yeah.
Your dad was like, well done, let's go get pints.
Yeah. I was like, yeah.
We all got 3 pints of it, don't we, man? I mean,
it
it was magnificent to see the amount of people that
I was
understood.
I was incredibly shocked yet humbled to see just how many people turned up. Because most people sort of turned up because they were like, we haven't heard anything from Josh, like we don't even know what he's doing. Like, other people have been giving snippets of their ideas and stuff, and I hadn't been saying anything. Kind of because I hadn't heard anything for a while. But then I was like, no, because something like this, with its deep personal level, once you've seen it, you sort of got the whole meaning. So I didn't really want to show any of it before, you know, the actual screening, because I wanted it to have a full effect. And I mean, I put posters and everything around the university.
Oh yeah, we all saw that, and I got invited to the group on Facebook.
Yeah, I did events and I did that because I was just, I mean, with certain people in there, they were only doing like specific audience for them. It was like a certain number. But with me, because it was in the big room, and I was like, just get as many people as possible in.
I mean, I think you filled.
I think
pretty
I
much
filled
every
it.
single field, didn't you?
I filled it. Yeah.
I mean, what was that? What's that studio seat? 150 or
something daft. It just filled quite a few people, but I was, quite humbled to see how many people turned up for it. Because like I did it all about myself because I wanted to show them the sort of true me. Because most people think of me as just this guy who's a bit of a, well, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so I wanted to show them that I am that sort of guy, but there's the reasons behind it.
Yeah, and it was magnificent to watch it, and you could see it in the audience's eyes, the turnout from just the people walking out. I mean, there was lots of people, you know, shook your hand on the way out, said, "Well done, congrats," and it was magnificent. And it was a really piece of moving film. And if you watch it for yourself, like I say, and then the link we've provided, you will just see how magnificent this piece of work is. And I'm not saying that just to make it sound good. I actually genuinely mean that.
Cheers, much appreciated.
So, quickly on to the next one. Now, I've worked with ADHD children before as part of my job and as part of my training to go into teaching, and I've always found that they've always been either like singled out or they've been classed as special education needs or different.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know what's your thoughts on them kind of categories that you always used to get fallen into, because it does really annoy me.
Well, it doesn't even matter if you have anything like that or not. It doesn't everywhere you go, there's going to be the category. You know, like me, even with this, I probably wouldn't fit in anyway. Because I do, like, throughout pretty much all school. I mean, I had a few friends and stuff in high school. It was pretty much just, you know, cast aside. Because, yeah, things like this, you know, what's it, SEN now?
Yeah, special education needs, SEN.
Yeah, with things like that, you know, they pretty much see, oh, you have that, you go in this corner, and everyone else go in this corner, and here, and they do sort of, not segregate you, but they do sort of make it more aware and obvious that there's something going on. Which in a way, I mean, it's nice because it's good that you get the sort of help and attention that you need, but at the same time it's also like, I am just, you know, an ordinary guy as well. Which, no, it does sort of get me going a little bit. But I also find at the same time that I've completely forgotten what the question was. I've just completely forgot what I was talking about.
Categories and
SEN,
you know, getting categorised and stereotyped.
Yeah, stereotypes. Yeah, because most people would obviously just stereotype me as, you know, this crazy guy who never listens and is a bit obnoxious. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm pretty much all those 4 things. but the reason behind all this was to show the reasons and the sort of backstory of why I'm pretty much all these things.
Yeah. And you did it pretty well. You put it off very well, I must say. I mean,
but I must admit, you know, with the whole sort of classing things, I think they could be a bit smoother about it. Like, don't try and make us feel so much isolated. I don't know what it's like in school nowadays, because obviously I haven't been to a school for a long time, so it might have changed. But you know, there's quite a lot of places that do sort of, you go here, you go here, you go here.
Yeah, that old-fashioned traditional schools with
Yeah.
sort of them rules where, you know, all special needs children are going to one classroom and they're all kind of mixed, and all the normal children going to
that's what got me the worst. Like, I mean, I remember in primary school in SATs, I got extra time, and I got to be in a classroom on my own with a helper, and I was like, why? How come?
You'd have preferred to be with your classmates, and that.
Well, not necessarily that, because so you said you get distracted, and there's someone to keep me focused, which is what it was for. They'd sort of put you in a room with a sort of a mentor who keep you focused, because you probably wouldn't trust yourself alone in an exam room, would you? Like in one of the big halls, you've got quite a lot of distractions.
I don't trust myself. I start counting tiles on the ceiling. Who doesn't? I mean, I know perfectly well in my GCSEs that my hall tile had 1,642 tiles on the roof. I counted them through my last lesson because I was bored.
I got told off because I started doodling on my arm. I did pretty much a full tattoo sleeve on my arm, and they thought I was cheating, so they came over to me and had a go at me. I was like, does like rock on and diamond shapes look the answer to question 42? You know, I don't know. Yeah,
that makes no sense. Right. So, Josh, when did you realise? I mean, you mentioned that in year 2 you went to dance class, but when did you start to realise that dance was actually helping you cope with your ADHD? Like, you knew that, obviously you knew you were doing dance, but when did you realise that you could use it as like a control?
I don't really know. I think it just sort of happened. Like, the more that I went to dance and the more passionate I got about dance, like, because like, I went to dance classes pretty much every day of the week, and I think like the more that I got into the dancing, and you know, the more that I actually enjoyed doing something, I felt more like, because I did musical theatre and stuff as well, and I really loved it. Like, oh, we're doing a show, you know, things like that. Like, you know, the fact that through dance it got me on a stage in front of huge audiences, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. You know, so I think right through that, I don't necessarily, like you said, I don't know when it started to help me, or when I realised.
It was just one of those spontaneous clicks.
It
in
was.
your mind. Like,
yeah.
This is like
the fact that, like, you know, like you find something that you're really passionate about, and then I think just that itself sort of started to help, like through music and art and dancing and drama. You know, all those sort of art formats really do help. You know, I mean, because they do this type of therapies. There's art therapy, dance movement therapy, drama therapy. I think there's a music one. Can't remember off the top of my head.
I think it's musical therapy or something.
Music, yeah. But either way, like these sort of things, like through creative ways, like, you know, you channel all the, well, junk into into something creative, and it really helps. You know.
Yeah, I mean.
So that's how I.
I mean, you've come quite far in that. I mean, you've just finished a degree in, what was it called? Was it?
It was BA honours in theatre and dance.
You see what you can achieve no matter what. I mean, you've taken it this far, and you've used that as a strength now, which is.
What I say to quite a few people, sort of as a joke, but in a kind of serious way as well, is, you know, people I know from back home was like, oh, I can't do it. I'm like, look, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Yeah.
Anyone can go far no matter what is what I always say.
Yeah.
Like, well, you say in your video that you decided not to take medicine to control your ADHD, and which is magnificent, because I do not believe children should be
forced
or drugged up on it, because half the time they're really good. So, do you believe that children and young adults with ADHD, and severe or at any level, do you reckon they should be taking medicine to control it, or do you think they can find their own ways like you?
Well, it wasn't necessarily that I found out, it was me and my folks discussed about this, and my mum's a nurse, so she obviously knows what it's all like. And the thing with Ritalin is, it's pretty much like it's pretty much a drug that will like, yeah, it'll focus you because it focuses you because it turns you into a zombie.
Yeah.
Or there's something.
Some of a drug that we don't know.
Well, it's con something, which basically helps you concentrate a bit more, and it's not as bad as Ritalin. However, you know, like I said, I haven't taken any medication, and I've been fine. Like I said, I don't think you would need medication, no matter how severe it is. You know, if you get, like I said, if you get a routine, if you find something that you really enjoy doing, I feel that that's probably the best type of medicine there is.
Yeah.
Like I did that obviously with my dance. Like my dancing was pretty much my medication.
That's,
you know,
so it's a good way to put it. So like a hobby or something that you
can
control.
A hobby, something you really, you know, something, anything. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be creative. Like I know I'm only saying creative sort of things because that's my area of expertise. But whoever you are, and if you have something you are passionate about, keep holding on to that. Like don't let it stop you. Don't let anyone stop you. In fact, no matter how much you say rah 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 rah, you know, just say no. You know, I'm passionate about this, so I'm going to keep doing it. Because the amount of stick I got throughout my entire school life because I was a dancer, like, oh, he's a dancer, you know, it was like,
yeah, traditional stereotypes. Boys don't like boys.
Yeah, you know, it was like, yeah, I'm a dancer, but look where I am and look where you are.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was back home in a couple of the bars and stuff, I'm always dancing. And I'm either at the bar, outside getting air, in the toilet, or on the dance floor. Those are the only 4 places you will ever find me in a nightclub. Maybe not in that specific order, but you know, like you always get these sort of stocky blokes who are like, look at him, look at the way he's dressed. I'm like, yeah, I might be dressed a bit weird, but who's the one on the dance floor dancing with all the girls? And you're the one stood in the corner going.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Like, I mean, I've seen you out on nights out before, haven't I?
Yeah.
Interesting times.
Oh yes, it's certainly eventful.
Let's not go there.
Let's not. Can't really say that in this video.
Oh no. Right. Well, final question: is there anything that you would like to say to my readers or watchers about ADHD, or just dancing, or anything in general of your interest that just might help them or help someone they know? Because I know a lot of people look into researching this sort of stuff.
Well, I mean, that's sort of why I did this film. I even said that at the end of the film, I did this film not only to help me, but for anyone who watches it, like, I hope it sort of helps them, like, see if they can relate to it at all. And like, for anyone who watches this, and if they do watch my film, like, just comment in the video, like, if it helped, or what you felt or anything like that. And I mean, I reply to all my comments anyway, you know.
Yeah.
So it'll be good to see what, you know, other stories there are out there. Like, I want to hear some of your stories. And with the, again, what was the question?
Anything to say to them lot?
What do I say to them lot?
Just anyone, like...
yeah, like if you have got ADHD or anything, like, you know, don't let it stop you from doing what you want to do. I mean, there's been quite a lot of times where I'm like, you know, I've had to physically throw myself out of bed, like literally flop onto the floor just to get out of bed because I wouldn't wake up. I have about 5 different alarm clocks, and
who doesn't? All students do.
I think my housemates hear my alarm clock more than I hear it. You know, but just don't. You know, just try and find ways that keep you happy. You know, try and stay positive. No matter how bad the situation might be, you know, just know, like, if it's this bad, it can only get better.
That's really good advice.
You know, like, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure you're doing good.
That's good. Well, thank you very much, Josh. It's been magnificent to talk to you about this.
It's been interesting. I've never really done this before, so...
No, well, this first time as well. I hope that you guys out there that are watching enjoyed it, and please do make sure to watch this video. Like I say, it's a very good video, and it does show
I've got
a lot of emotion.
Got some new movies coming out soon, like...
Yeah.
Nothing like seriously ADHD type, like just some nice, cool, funny movies. You know, that's the sort of creativity, like, things I like to do, like... Some people say it's like Mr. Bean type movies, you know, because the short comedy sketches.
Yes.
things, you know, just parodies of films and things like that. Writing a parody song in a minute, which I've never done before, so it's taken a heck of a long time because I can't think of anything. So I've only really made the chorus of it in a minute, but we're currently working on a Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball parody called Pokeball.
Oh, oh, I might have to look forward to that.
I'm going to attempt to do it, you know. Got Pikachu ones and everything, you know. Want to do it.
Well, you know, like I said, feel free to look out. I mean, there'll be the link to the video, so you can find the channel for YouTube for that. I'll also put a link somewhere in the blog page to the channel and everything else. And well, bye for now, and we'll see you next time I do an interview.
Yeah.
It's been good. Thank you very much, Josh.
Yes, all right. Hi.